Welcome back to another episode of the Boneyard podcast. We are on the eve of update 65. Today's guest, I have I Saw a Bear, a Marine veteran, and your host, me. I am. Oh my God, I still have Big Bear Burger there. I'm the Bare Bones Gaming. I'm such a liar. I'm gonna have to change that mid. Oh my gosh, this is how old this template is, boys, but it's fine. Yeah, if you guys want to introduce yourselves a little bit more in
Uh,
depth.
Bear, go ahead, man.
Uh, yeah, I saw Bear. Been playing for hang on, it's June. 2 months from now, it will have been 10 years since I've been playing Foxhole and doing update videos for the game. So, I need to get working on some decade-long videos soon.
And I am Marine veteran. I am basically your agent of chaos and love to snipe on Foxhole. I've been playing the game since War 110, shortly after the naval update went out in what 2024 in February, and I've just enjoyed it. I stream full time as a monetized hobby. I make tutorial videos where I see fit, and yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, I appreciate you guys coming in here today and hanging out with me. Talk about update 65. Also want to talk a little reflection on the last update, our last war. Marine, they're saying you're kind of quiet. I'll turn you up. Get you. Okay,
Yeah, I
good.
mean, I can just start with some very basic things I saw with the last war.
Yeah, let's do a.
I think I mean, people actually mentioned it on. I believe it was on a post on Reddit. Just like I mean, it's pretty obvious that it was kind of the right call to merge both Charlie and Abel into the singular live shard for a couple of reasons. Obviously, the collies benefited greatly from those two shards merging and actually working together, despite the fact that I got some people commenting on one of my suggestion videos where I mentioned that they should close down one shard and turn it into a single shard for everyone, that they would refuse to play if they had to play with people from, you know, shard X or shard Y or whatever. But then, as it turns out, it seemed like the teamwork was really appreciated, and the collies hit it off really good. And then they also led the war with some pretty big operations to take like the big Western Island and Faranac coast really early on. So that put them in a pretty dominant position on the West Coast. So as far as it goes for that kind of stuff, it seems to work out pretty well for them. I don't know, Marine. How did it work out on the Warden side with the merge?
Some of it was met with open arms. A lot of the other veterans that played the game, um, they could tell who's privy to change and who's like, no, this is my way, blah 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 blah, just based on how they interacted with people. Like I remember on Warfront, we had people who were just brand new to the game, and everybody thought they were just straight up from Charlie. I'm like, no, this dude's literally a brand new guy, no fucking rank whatsoever, and he's want to learn Logi. Got another guy that wants to learn how to, go and be a medic. Dude that wants to learn how to do frontline base building, and I'm like, hey, that dude's doing building, go with him. That dude's doing medic, go with him. Come over here, so I'm not screaming over everybody. And I gave him a really quick rundown on how to do Logi. But the Charlie players that came over to the Wardens that were pretty much very, 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 very acceptive, I was pretty damn impressed with on just their ability to adapt from some major pushes like over in Nevis whenever the day that it fell. Nobody from you could tell nobody from Charlie was beaten up about it. Like, hey, let's go ahead and take it back. I'm like, you do realize you got a tall task, but I like your enthusiasm. Let's go. Like I dig it. Like that you could tell those who are really for the moment versus those that are like, oh, let's just fortify defense. Like it's sort of like more 80-20 positive to negative. So
Yeah,
Overall good then?
I was
yeah, overall good.
I was really impressed with the Colonial Charlie guys in two regards. One, was a situation where you're talking about the West push, and something I haven't seen in, I don't know if I've ever seen it, and if I have, it's been that long. It was mainly Charlie players that really wanted to invade King's Cage, and
Yeah.
taking and dominating that really early, day one, um, really set us up for the war, because once they took it, they didn't really lose it, right? Like, we never lost Manacle, I don't think. And
No, y'all held it with the entire war.
it's really cool to see. I don't think as Charlie players, so much as like skill here, skill here. I think they just have different mindsets on how to tackle obstacles, and I like what they did. I like that. I like what they did a lot, and I thought it was a really good war. The thing that I guess I want to ask about and review mainly, other than the Charlie merger, which Charlie merger was huge. Um,
Hmm.
but the biggest thing, what did you guys think of the update that came with it? Like, through and through, because this is the update, 6-week update that Talos changes, Bardiche changes, Silverhand changes. Um, there was some aircraft changes with the dive bomber, with the torpedo bomber. They changed how planes um, took damage and their damage models, and they also added the new AA tank. You know, and I know I'm asking for a very broad perspective, but what do you guys felt was the biggest impact, and what do you guys feel like was good and
I
bad?
know so the good one was, you remember whenever you had me on the last time, we were talking about the distance between the spot and the outlaw. I
Mm-hmm.
liked how that put that on an equal playing field, and you could see a more tactical approach to how an outlaw and a Sparta engaged. It wasn't this, oh, I get to hit you, then back off, and then no, is you saw people actually think for the first time in a cruiser tank on a tank line, push, hit, back up, brace for the return fire. You saw like that. That's one thing I can note tenfold on. Now I will say the 40 meters for the outlaw, good, because it kind of needed some love. But oh my god, being on the receiving end was terrifying.
Wait, do you mean the Talos?
Yes, the 40-meter range
Yeah,
for the
Talos.
Talos. Oh, the 75 millimeter little mini nuke. And
It's
it caught a
yeah.
lot of people off guard. Like, what the? I'm like, yep, welcome to the Talos gaming, bro.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest focus point. I think a lot of people worry about. I know you don't tank a ton, Bear, but what was your takes on
I
everything?
actually did get a decent amount of tanking in. I wasn't in a Talos myself, but I did fight in tank groups with Talos.
Mm-hmm.
Talos is this war, and I thought the cannon, like the damage output for the Talos was definitely needed. I think the Talos now definitely has a spot in any tank formation, tank line. I do still think it might be a little too strong, but not in terms of its damage output. Like, I'd just like to see it maybe get a very slight, like 5, maybe not even 10%, like speed decrease, just to make it so that when it commits to a fight, it doesn't have a choice but to commit to the fight. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I think I'm giving Berg a heart attack.
The Talos slower. It can't go any slower. The engine cannot read that movement.
It's slow as it is. I mean,
Oh, it's definitely slow, but like, I don't know. I still think it needs just a little something
I
just to give it a little bit more. Or hell, like I'd even take like a slightly more increased percentage to fuel it or whatever to encourage people to actually flank around it.
mhm.
Just something where there's like, okay, it's a really strong tank, but there is this really weak point we got to target kind of thing.
So
But I don't know. Maybe I just need some more time with it because again, I didn't actually pilot or gun for one. I was just
mhm.
around them a decent amount.
Yeah,
I will bring up though. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no. I was just to add to your comment there. I do think a little bit more revision is entitled for it. Um, I don't think that it's this godsend nuke that won us the war, and it was so oppressive that it dominated every front every time, and it just was breaking every front all the time, like we've seen in other vehicles and other utility. Um,
Yeah.
you know, I definitely feel like it was strong, but the other half, like, it was strong in a good way. I feel like it adds a lot of that, oh shit, they have a Talos on the front, like we get a, oh shit, they have 3 HTDs, or, you know, oh my god, they have, you know, a STD. Like, we have to focus this problem, or, you know, it's gonna eat us alive. And I like that
Oh
the
yeah, for
Colonial
sure.
armor line got that. I call it the medium tank slots. I mean, it's a little bit heavier set than a medium tank, I guess. But I'm
Yeah.
glad that medium tank slot, you know, for Colonials, we finally got something that's respected on the front line, that could actually really do some damage downrange.
Mhm.
I I I don't like the comment of slowing it down, because I can tell you've never drove one, based
Oh no,
on.
I like I have in the past, but again, it's just I was using the slowdown as like just kind of a default placeholder. But again, my point is I think it needs just the
I agree.
tiniest
I
debuff.
think its turret should get more. I think its turret chance, since it's such a big turret, I think it should get turreted more often. I think it's such a big
Sure, yeah,
target.
I mean, yeah,
I
that
think
that would
that would
be
be its
again,
weak point, you know, because that's what a lot of people want to do on it, is turret it
and
or track
again,
it.
it would change it up just a little bit because
Hmm.
I always see in tank fights, it's like everyone always goes for the treads. No one ever tries to go for the turret. If you had a tank
But
that's like, okay, this tank is slightly weaker than all the others on the turret, then yeah, you
Well,
change up
funny you
the
say
people's
main
that.
reason
perspective.
the main reason why a lot of people don't go for the turret is you have a higher bounce chance
Hmm.
than anywhere else on the armor. Where tracks, they're such an easy hit, like no matter what.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And then it helps you to get and finish off the kill. But in my
Oh yeah.
mind, I always try to encourage people to go for turrets because it's like, okay, if you're outnumbered or even in an even playing field tank fight, you knock out the turret of one tank, that tank line's damage is cut in half, in quarter or
Hmm.
whatever. So, but
It's funny
Very
you
well.
say that.
um,
Just last,
yeah,
it's funny you say that. There is actually one tank. I train all the tankers for bone. And I always tell people, go for the track or the rear shot as most often as you can. There's one specific tank I train all my guys to aim for the turret, because it has a higher turret chance than, I think, not all, but I think it's one of the highest turret chances, which is the Bone Law. The
Yes.
Bone Law has a very high turret chance. And you are not going to out damage it. You're not going to outlive it. You know, even usually a 2v1 brawl, it'll kill one of yours before it goes down. So um, I always tell people for the Bone Law to go for the turret. It has, I think, a 35 or a 40% turret chance. So I think
'cause
that
that
would be a.
disables the calliope on it too,
It
right?
does, and that's why it's so important
Right.
to aim
Yeah.
for it. And so I think that would be a very cool thing to give to the Talos as well, because
Sure. Yeah, I can agree to that.
and they kind of, what's weird is, and I don't think a lot of people know how the devs really balance things, um, or see things comparable. A lot of people don't realize, like, everyone always compares the Talos to the STD. Everyone does. Mentally, that's where everyone goes. But if you remember, they didn't, when they moved Talos out of costing steel, they also moved the Bone Law from costing steel, not the STD. So
Right.
in I don't know necessarily if that's 100% what they consider to be the evenness on each side, but in my eyes, like, it is, because that's when they made that change for Talos and the Outlaw or Bone Law to go to non-steel cost. That's what they, that's the tank they chose, not the STD, right? So, um, I don't know. I think that could be kind of a
A future thing,
mismatch. Yeah,
definitely. Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah. I will say, speaking of tanks, I didn't see too many of these in action or too many of these do damage this past war. but at the same time, they also completely changed how the wars were fought, and that's the AA tanks. Like,
Oh,
I didn't see too many planes get knocked out of the
oh,
skies by them, but you could
Fuck
tell
that
all
thing.
of the planes were paying attention in case they had some on the front. So both not a huge physical effect, but a giant mental effect on the war
oh
as a
yeah.
whole.
Not even to mention that,
It's an
the
infantry deletion machine. I'll say that.
dude, that
Okay, yeah.
is the
I hate
Reddit
that tank.
feed for the first like I mean until light tanks teched, all you saw was just murder feed, murder feed, murder feed, 30 dudes dead on the ground. You know, the AA tank, in my opinion, is not unbalanced. Came way too early in the tech tree. Like,
Yeah,
holy
that's fair.
smokes, that thing came way too early, dude. It was deleting front lines, both
You know,
sides.
thinking about it, it almost feels like they should have introduced like an AA half track with just like an
Machine
MG
guns.
or an
Hmm.
EMG mounted to it, because like that would have been the easier first AA vehicle to put in.
I
I
agree.
Yeah, I really want those turrets to go on large ships, like especially
Oh yeah,
carriers.
yeah.
I really wish they would just chop the turrets off those light tanks and slap them on the large ships, dude. Make them scary, you know. I mean, maybe the aircraft carrier you don't do it because, you're supposed to fight aircraft carrier with aircraft, you know what I mean? Like send the aircraft out, but especially battleships, I think it would not go unnoticed to put those on there. Like, I think it's almost needed. Those things are super effective at taking down planes. The ammo's not unruly. Um, yeah, I don't know, dude. I really, I like them. I like them a lot, but I do agree with you. I think a half track MG or like, even if it was only 12-7, like 12-7 still rips up scout planes, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I agree with that.
Something to be the early AA, and then
Hmm.
the AA tank can come later on. Yeah.
Um, like
Yeah.
get something earlier than that, like light tank, which can just cause havoc for infantry.
Let me
And
ask
it's
you
not even meant to
guys.
be used against infantry. It's meant to be used against aircraft.
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of those tanks were multi-purpose. I mean, especially like Bofors guns and AA tanks and stuff, and
Yeah,
IRL, they were
I,
used both. I don't mind it being used for both, and I actually like if you get close to it, like with a sticky rush, it can't defend itself, other than running away, because it has that minimum prime distance. I really like that, and I really like how they like I said, I think they came out too early, and I do agree Bear's idea to bring out an earlier vehicle. But once tanks actually started teching, like as soon as like that Brigand and the Falchion were out, and like light tanks were rolling, those things were getting chewed up left and right, dude. Like
Yeah.
they're not scary once other tanks can actually poke and prod at them. Um, so I don't know. I think it'd be nice. Hmm. What do you guys think about instead of like, because there's two things I want to ask here. Did you guys ever see them use like the Zeal and the emplaced AA guns on your guys' team? Like Bear, did you
placed
see
the
those
no
used?
zeal.
I, I I saw them around airfields. I didn't see them get used, but I wasn't around airfields too much.
I wasn't
Like
either.
I didn't see any flat cannons on any front line whatsoever.
That's crazy too. They do more accuracy and more damage, right? Don't they?
But
Supposedly.
I did see the emplaced MGs go into AA mode more than you would expect.
Yeah, I mean they
And
still do the job for sure.
yeah, like it. Hey man, 12-7, shredding up anything that's in the sky. Shoo.
Oh, uh, huh. It's going in kind of the new update and starting to get off the revision a little bit, but kind of still revision. We did a lot of gunboat gameplay in Bone this war, and most of the time you'd always go dual Dacus, like one on the front gun, one on the back. almost every time we were in favor now of doing a back NG due to scout planes. That being able to go to AA mode, like the machine guns, like the tripod ones, was an awesome change. I thought that was such a cool
Yep,
use.
absolutely.
I love that they did that. And what I was going to ask, what do you guys think of the high velocity push guns, laser accurate, getting to be able to switch to AA mode now? The push guns, like the Sagatari or something like that, and I don't know what the word one's called.
Yeah, I don't remember what they're called, but yeah, the field machine guns, you mean?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
FMGs? Yeah.
yeah. I think those would be good.
I mean, just naturally, like it makes sense that they'd be able to point up and shoot at planes. I don't think they'll be. You might see them in certain areas where people know planes are flying to shred
Mhm.
them up and take them down, but they're also like they're really tough to swing around, and there's two crew members, which if even one of them goes down, are sitting ducks. So I don't think they're going to be as effective, but at least they have the option of
Mhm.
potentially affecting aircraft.
Yeah. I think once they get out teched, like you don't see them a lot later in the war and stuff. I think once they get out teched, you'll see them used a lot more like the tripod guns, where someone will just set them up on a bunker base, and when a plane's coming through one direction, people use them that way, which I really like. Setting up defensive turrets like that. But yeah, I mean, now that we got around the tanks and stuff, what do you guys think about airplanes? Because in my eyes, they almost feel too nerfed. I almost didn't see any airplane action. Like, it was weird. I didn't see a
Well,
lot of aircraft going into the war. Like,
I'll let Marine take this one.
Oh, I didn't see a whole lot of planes going overhead, but we saw a lot of arm. Go back with the airborne update. We saw more ships than planes until bombers became available. So it's like, yeah, and to a degree, they're still kind of nerfed, but I think it had to do with more of the cost of how much they were. And with the update coming out, essentially they're going to take longer to print the frames, but the parts are going to be cheaper. I think it's an equal
no,
trade-off.
hey, no. It's not longer to cook the frames. They cut all the frames in half, maybe even quartered. It only takes an
Okay.
hour. It only takes an hour instead of 4 hours to cook a fighter frame.
Oh,
It
I
only
thought it was just
takes
like an hour longer.
no,
That's what
no.
I thought.
All of
Okay, well,
them.
That's in 65, right?
Yeah, this is what's coming up.
Okay, yeah.
hey, to everybody who wants to, go and do the freaking planes next war, do it because they're
Yeah.
gonna be worthwhile now.
Let me look on
Yeah, it
here.
definitely feels like they over nerfed planes for this war, just in terms of how often you saw them. That being said, I mean, I still saw and participated in some really good like scout aircraft ops. I put out a video of us like a squadron of 3 scout planes trying to take on a fleet of Warden boats. We didn't succeed, and it turns out a single infantry boat was enough to keep 3 scout planes away from a flotilla of like 6 ships. So
Holy smokes.
yeah, I think maybe the planes could use a tiny bit of a buff, like 5 or 10%, just general health buff. But I think overall they're in a better spot, and now that more proper anti-aircraft defenses and countermeasures are available, we can start tuning their balance, their abilities up just a little bit, just to bring them back into the fold.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, so I do think they're trying to do that in mass number, not one plane doing insane work. And I think I can see that change through here, right? They're changing the prices from thermal shielding, which is really hard, not hard, but annoying to make. And it doesn't really make sense because that's like a naval asset we're slapping onto planes. Like it was really weird. But I like that they're changing like the Silver, the Warden fighter, the Myrmidon, and the Warden Sea fighter all went from 4 hour production time down to an hour. they changed the man of war. So its production time was reduced from 4 hours to an hour. So all small planes got reduced from 4 to an hour. They reduced the rare alloys cost on the man of war, and then the paratrooper planes got reduced from 6 hours to 2. So I think what they want is not necessarily one pilot to be dominating an airfield or an airspace. I think they want more planes. I think they want air raids. I think they want to see 20 planes coming into a hex, doing their job, and then dipping. I think you're going to see production of planes skyrocket. I think you're going to see people that do produce planes, they're going to be ripping them.
Yeah,
And I think you're going to see way bigger.
I would love on any front line to just see like a flight of 3 or 4 fighters come in, do a strafing run, and like one get blown out of the sky and 2 leave with smoke trails behind them. Like I think that's just cool, but then also hopefully the reduced cost and time just gives more people the ability to fly more without having them be super OP or anything like that.
Yeah.
No, I can agree to that.
I think it's also very interesting that all fighters had their high velocity removed except the sea fighter. All of their high velocity was removed. So what that means for like air to air targets, I'm very interested what they're doing with that. I really want to get in dev branch, and I'll probably make a video about what this means. Because it's almost counterintuitive, right? Because this update war, plane parts were getting popped like left, right, and center from a like baby strafe, right? And we're laser accurate. And then now it's like, is it going to take a full magazine to break a plane part again now? I'm very curious what that means.
Well, I guess I'll put it out to the panel here. What, like, let's just assume, a Toxit or a Luminary fighter strafing a target. How much of a 20 millimeter cannon magazine should another plane's part break in? Just on average. I'm not gonna ask for every single type of plane, but like, how much of a magazine should it take to damage a plane part? Not even just like blow it off.
I mean,
Is like half a mag on target? Like, is that like the sweet spot, or is it like?
The thing
I feel like
is,
half a mag for the average player is good, but then half a mag for like an ace pilot with a joystick and everything is gonna be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna take down 50 fighters today.
that's where I'm kind of caught because, like, again, this is not War Thunder. There's not defensive maneuvers you can really do. And again, it comes down to the turn rate. And so, like, unless you have every plane have the exact same turn rate, there's not a lot of strategy you can do other than just out. Like, I gotta be honest, like, I'm so happy they added planes, but the dogfighting is still the worst part of it. I think it's so hard to balance it with the way they've done it because again it boils down to a circle fight because that's all the defensive measure you have. You can't make someone overshoot you. You can't maneuver. I mean, you might be able to maneuver kill people, but it's incredibly hard in this game. There's not actual G's going on to the pilot.
There's no real physics going on with it.
Well, and so it's really hard to answer that question, Bear, because again, like, a lot of people have played War Thunder and think they're ace pilots, but at least in War Thunder, you can tell who's a really good pilot or not just based on how they can not take damage. Like, and in this game, you can't out skill diff someone other than running away or circle fighting them and getting another fighter on their tail, which is just getting more numbers up in the air. And
or on the
so,
off chance having a friendly plane just come and just cut them off at the pass.
I mean, and
That
so
that's a
it's
very very rare thing to find.
it. So to answer your question, like I don't really know the right answer because like a sitting target, I don't think it should take but like a quarter of a magazine to damage a part. You know, if it's a sitting target where you're just going down and strafing, but I think higher damage in a turn fight would at least allow the fighters that don't have the exceptional turn rate and the higher speed to do their damage and then get away. And if the other fighter wants to sit in a that it's just hard, dude. Like that's a very hard thing to say yes or no to be honest with you.
Okay, no, that's totally fair.
Mm.
Um,
Do you get what I mean
hmm.
though? Like do you get what I'm
I
kind of
no, I
saying?
totally get what you mean. I'm just like I'm trying to think immediately of like what can you add? Like air brakes might help. Would an increased flight ceiling help with being able to do more maneuvers or
So that's actually something I said long ago. I actually really like where your head's at. I think having different planes be able to soar to different heights would make a massive difference. Like
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
like the
Oh, yeah,
verticality,
okay, okay. Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
verticality should get added a lot more into this, right? Instead of speed and turn, like and obviously I'm talking about the White Raven when I'm talking about turn rate, right? Like that's the best
Right,
turn
yeah, of
fighter,
course.
highest damage. So
Like give
I
the White Raven the
like
best turn rate, but then the Toxit like
the
has
highest
better
climb
elevation. Okay,
exactly.
yeah,
I
okay,
think it
I
should
can get
have
on with that.
better
Yeah.
vertical gameplay, right? It's a boom zoom aircraft as to one's a turn fighter. P-51 versus a zero, right? Like obviously it's not
Right,
that, but
okay.
you get what I'm kind
Not
of
that, but yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, okay.
I think that would be
And
a way they could do it.
that wouldn't be that hard for them to change, except for maybe the higher flight ceiling, because then they'd need to potentially render more stuff,
Well,
which might.
maybe they just lower the flight ceiling of others and keep the other flight ceiling like right. So
Okay,
like
yeah.
80 is the max for like the Toxot, maybe 75 is the blind silver, 70 is the blind silver, right? Like especially since it's a bi-wing aircraft, it should not have the maneuverability at all as a single wing or I don't know what they call it, but you know what like I get I think you're
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
up what
okay.
I'm picking up what I'm putting down. I definitely would like them to go more in that direction, which would give so much actual tactics and flavor in air-to-air combat. Um
Okay. Yeah, okay.
I think that'd be really sweet. Um, it would also change how you engage fight, like bombers and fighters, and like how you defend your like bomber groups. Like, oh, it would be so cool, dude. Oh, that'd be so cool.
They'd need to make the gunners for the bombers be able to like push their camera out a little further, but that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't seem like the hardest
Yeah.
or most OP thing for them
I
to
mean,
do.
if they were able to be able to do the camera angle
Or
with
actually, no, wait,
airborne, we can do that with
they should just
gunners.
give they should just give bomber gunners the ability to go into anti-air mode as well.
Easy as.
I mean, technically, would they already be considered anti-air?
Not really, because they're already on the plane, right? So like you can shoot at a plane as it's strafing down with like a 9 millimeter, right, and still damage the plane. You're not in AA mode there, so you're on a level playing field with it when it comes down. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they're not in AA mode to where they need to tilt up. Um. So yeah, oh, I think
But if
you're
like
cooking
Toxics
there.
could fly above, but if Toxics could fly above Warden bombers, and you give bombers the ability to go into that AA mode where they point up, then I think that would be a good way to defend against attacks from above, kind of thing.
Yeah, and the other thing is too, like if they were to strafe down into the sea fighters, like or the luminae, I don't know what they call it. The
Luminaries.
luminaries, if they turn down into those turn fighters, like the Toxots should get tore up, right? And I think if you have the high damage ceiling, then you have a very big skill gap in how people play. Because if you're a
Yeah.
Toxot, your job is to now out be turning and not ever be in a position to get dove on. And then your job as a like Toxot pilot is to be above them, get a good strafe, and then veer out of the
You
combat.
said Toxhot for both your examples. I think you meant White Raven the first one.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
just making sure.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I meant the White Raven. But yeah, I think that'd be really cool change. But I do like where they're going with, spammability on planes, especially if they're going to be as weak as they are. I think the goal and what they want is spammability. I think they want these things. You should not care about losing a plane, get another one and get it out. I think that's kind of what they're going for. So,
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Okay, well, I'm going off the
Mhm.
preview notes, but
Mhm.
level streaming optimization, which apparently allows for more people to go for borders or something.
Yeah, this is
Sorry, I'm far from my monitor. I forgot.
I don't know
There we
what
go.
this means. Um
15 faster. Okay, well, the one thing I do understand from this is that supposedly this helps you not hit that lag switch or that lag spike as you approach borders, supposedly, which is super
Oh,
nice. If true, very
based.
nice.
Very
Which is also
based.
great for aircraft because that means you don't slam into the fucking invisible wall at the
Yes.
border. So, if true, amazing. Hopefully it is.
That's actually
I mean,
awesome.
whenever I was going from one hex to another, I didn't detect that little stutter lag like we're all used to. So I think it's working as intended.
Sorry, I was responding. What was that?
I said, whenever I was going from hex to hex on Dev Branch, I like normally you would get that like stutter once you travel over into the
Mm-hmm.
regions. I didn't detect it, so I think it's working as intended. But then again, it could just be, that freak incident that it just worked, and I'm not sure if anybody else has noticed it.
Well, I haven't gone across borders in the dev branch yet, but I'll give it a test. The other thing is like dev branch won't be as loaded with a billion bunker bases and 10
Oh, it won't.
artillery rounds
I
every
mean,
second. So
I could fix that.
Different. Something I think really shatters late game servers is, and I didn't understand this for a while until someone talked to me about it. But you guys know when there's like 10 tank line, like a 10 tank line on each side, and when each one of
Mhm.
them have a different armor coating, everyone's having to see the different armor coatings on each tank, and everyone's having to like it's got to keep up with each pen, each shot, and it's doing small calculations per engagement. So people don't think
Mhm.
about like how much actually the server is loading all in real time.
Yeah, it's rendering everything that's going on. It's why I say one of the most graphically intensive games that I have. It's not Gray Zone Warfare. It's not Escape from Tarkov. It's not any of these, realistic simulation extraction shooters. It's motherfucking Farm Simulator because it has to render every blade of grass.
Oh my God.
It is stupid, but it has to render the PC has to render every single blade of grass that is actually active on any given field.
Yeah,
It is
I
the same
mean,
concept. It's the same concept with every single pixel, whether or not it's taking damage at half health or um, on the verge of dead.
well, and then also to think about this too, like let me add another layer on it. So
Yep.
let's say you broke into a concrete base, you breach something. Now you have different health on each. Now we talked about tanks. Now you have players that are certain are bloodied, certain are getting healed, certain have certain stuff on them. But people also have aircraft parts that are damaged. They have to render that for everyone. And then bunker bases all have different dirt codes on them based on how much artillery they've taken, how much 40 mil they've taken. Then you have health on each husk piece, health on each broken piece, trench connector health,
Yeah.
like all these things. And then to top that, you have like artillery holes that certain ones are getting dug up, certain ones are going down. You're replacing trenches in the same spot that something just decayed and died. Like, Oh my god, dude! You know what I
It's a
mean?
lot.
Like
Like,
it's
I
people
think you
are like,
figured
yeah,
it
this
out.
is so lagging.
Just remove all the
It's
bunkers and trenches from the game.
yeah,
no,
dude.
no, no, no,
Remove
no, no.
bunkers, trenches,
What
all
you need to
that.
remove, what you need to remove is the water that's underneath the ground. That's it. Like the whole
Yeah,
map is an ocean.
I mean, yeah.
The whole map is an ocean.
I mean, dig deep enough, you'll
Like I
find
know the
water
water.
or
I know
something
there
liquid.
is. Yeah, because I know the map. Usually they just have a water level below the ground, and then when they make a beach, they just slope the terrain into it. But
Yep.
Hmm.
I actually wonder. Yeah, I wonder how. I don't know. I'm not a game dev, so I can't.
I don't know I literally won't
Allegedly.
speak on this.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, you're not a game. Yeah.
Alleged.
Don't think we see your mutual friends, buddy. I know who you got as your friends list, pal.
Mentioned something needs to be changed. Sure enough, 2 updates later, it gets changed. Like, I remember he spoke about that.
I still will never let this go, dude. This guy flew in aircrafts and had literally all the knowledge about all the planes. And we were talking and speculating. Me and Legendary were like, man, I bet you they're gonna have this. And this dude had a little shit-eating grin, bro. Just shit. I already know what it is, bro. I already know. I flew in them, and you held that. I mean, you were probably under a contract or something.
NDA. He was probably under an NDA.
I
guarantee
mean,
you
even
had
if
to
he
sign an
wasn't,
NDA, didn't you,
if
Pierre?
even if they told him not to say it or whatever, like keep private. What I'm not actually holding. I thought it was just really funny, but
I mean, if they had a freaking
I mean, it's
Ubisoft
easy.
level NDA, dude,
Well,
you fucked.
oh, it's not even. Did they have you under an NDA, or did they just tell you not to say it? Okay, so there you go. That's my answer. So that's all we needed to know, bro.
That's I've been around long enough. I know.
He's all good. So that's my
To
boy right
quote
there.
Futurama, I have no strong feelings one way or the other.
Yeah, dude. So there you go.
That's good. I was under an NDA.
So speaking of this, though, one thing I don't know who spoke about this or if the complaints got high enough. Thank
Oh, the complaints
God.
definitely got high enough.
Thank God we have one radio now. Oh my God. And thank God we have pilots that can actually see air updates now. Thank
You know what?
God.
You know what? It sucks that it had to take a couple of updates to get here, but this is by far a far more elegant solution to air intel
100%.
than.
S tier.
Like, I wish this had been their first solution, but I'm glad it made it into the game.
Oh, me too. Yeah, I agree.
Also, I tried the masks on. They just fucking look cool on any uniform you put them. I'm gonna wear one of these even when I'm not a pilot.
So here's the funny part about that. I don't know how expensive these are compared to other uniforms. But
according to the dev branch, cheap as shit.
So
basically like a gas mask.
What's really scary about this though is instead of having I forget where this goes. Oh, so it's a gas mask, right? It takes the gas mask slot. But it's also your radio, right? It works as a radio. So if you wanted to do intel with a flame backpack, you can do that.
I was under the impression that it only detected air intel, however, but someone correct me if I'm wrong.
Let's look. Pilot mask, new intel receiving items, which goes into headgear slot, allowing pilots to receive intel updates and can parachute at the same time. So Legendary said this to me, and he said that now partisan ops, you're going to see partisans wear these all the time because they go in your gas mask slot as an intel piece, and now they can carry like any of the backpacks or the gear stuff.
Yep.
Right.
It's going to make people having to think twice about what the best approach for defenses are. Because if that mask is actually generating intel for everything,
it won't. It's not like a backpack. That's not what they're saying. It's not like a backpack. It's not like a two-way radio
not
giving intel.
Not
okay.
Like a back, but basically being able to see the intel
Yes.
of what you're able to see, and like all I got to say to the builders, start freshening up on anti-partisan stuff. That's it.
Yeah. I think this is gonna need to be buffed in price a lot if I were to say, because like I said, partisans are going to use this. I don't know what all can actually go in the backpack slot, but it's your third slot or whatever. So it's whatever the flamethrower, so like parachutes, flame backpacks,
And radio backpacks.
what's that?
Radio backpacks, the
Radio
flame,
backpacks.
and the parachute. Those are the only 3 items.
So, I mean, all it really does is improve flame, and it's only a small buff, so maybe they don't buff it too crazy, but it does let people who want to do flamethrower raids have intel on them now, without and still have the backpack on. So, I'm interested to see.
Well, Xerox in your chat also just asked, question fire suppression, is it going to be better? Well, yes, actually it is, because they
Let me see
added
if
a
I
Now
can-
you
thing
can actually
where
fill it from the
Right here.
and liquid containers.
This is actually
It's up
a very
for-
big thing.
Okay.
What's that? Yeah, I got you. This is
Sorry.
actually a very big thing because it's not always accessible to put pipes into stuff, like, or pipe things into water or have that water resource. But bringing a water resource to this, you're going to be able to fill all this stuff when you're doing your bunker designs and whatnot. This is going to really help anti-partisan movement, flamethrower ops a lot.
I
So
realize the collies have a ever so slight advantage with their myrmidons, because it gives them a very prime target to hit when a bunker base is being attacked by planes, artillery, and flamethrowers.
Well, I mean, you say that though. I actually would kind of disagree because the 20 mil Lumineer or whatever. I just
Yeah.
always call it the Warden Fighter, and I call the other one the Sea Fighter. The Warden Fighter, the 20 mil, will be able to shred these things. They'll shred
that's
trucks.
fair. Yeah.
They won't have an advantage over that for sure. So, I mean,
Yeah,
dude,
fair enough.
I watched one of those Warden Fighters. I was running Logi in Stone Cradle, and this dude, I swear to God, if he was a streamer, he would have put a highlight reel out. I saw so many dead trucks and like 120 pallets on the floor. This dude was having a heyday just strafing the shit out of our trucks, bro. No one brought up AA either, dude. He had like 2 hours uncontested, just shredded our trucks, dude. It was awesome. I was actually so happy to see it being used as intended. I was like, holy shit, that was sick. I was mad, and I went and got an AA tank, and I damaged his part after that. But it was fucking cool for a while, till I got sick of the shit. But it was cool. So I think this will be interesting. Now, from what I understand, though, being a builder, people say this isn't worth it. People say that these are not worth it to put in your bunkers, because it doesn't actually stop that much fire. I think it's only to be a quote unquote like buff system for when you're putting out the fire. They don't want AI to take over like a flame attack. This is just to really help put the fire down if you're going to actively be QRFing with buckets or a fire truck. This isn't going to stop big fires from what I understand. I will do some personal testing to clarify what I'm saying right now because I don't know firsthand, but Legendary specifically said they're really not worth it. They don't put out like fires that well. So, interested to see how that actually turns out. But I think I will be adding these into my bunker designs, even if it only just helps. Even if it's just to help.
Yeah.
I think it's so worth it.
And I mean, the numbers might need to change on it, but I do personally agree with that philosophy, because I think if someone's gonna actively try to hit your bunker, you need to also actively defend it.
I
Whether that's
agree.
against infantry rushes or someone with a flamethrower, you know.
Yeah.
So I got Sweet Tea Paul in my my chat. They're only meant to stop flames that are tier 1 or 2. They cannot stop tier 3 or higher.
Yeah.
And I think that's an acceptable.
Yeah,
I mean,
because at the start, smoldering is tier 1, and then it starts building up tier 2, and like it can suppress that. That's pretty well. I think that's worthwhile.
I think it stops like infantry flamethrowers from really kicking off. It definitely stops solos from kicking off fires, because it's just too slow of a rate to get the fire up. So, but I don't think it'll stop like flame rockets, which I think that's a good thing. Now, talking about this, I am not a fan of having the howitzer change.
What was the change once again?
It wasn't in this update. It was, I think, 2 updates ago, where we had tier 2 and tier 1 retaliate against pretty much 120 and 150 and rockets. And now tier 2 howitzers, like, I hate that it's not worth to put howitzers up. That annoys the piss out of me. I do not like the fact, like, I literally tell people tier 2 is useless. Until
Yeah,
you can concrete howitzers, it's literally useless. And the only retort to that is, well, it stops mortars. But the problem is, mortars have such a small dispersion, unless you have it connected to your piece, which drastically hurts your integrity of the bunker, you're always going to have split off howitzers never connected to your frontline bunkers because it drops your integrity too much. And so you can't really protect against mortars because it's too good a dispersion and it's too short range to stop anything else. I personally think if you can get to tier 2,
is like 40 meters.
I personally think they need to make tier 2 retaliate against 120 and 50 and rockets. I think it should be a slower rate of fire, and I think tier 1 should stop mortars. But I think it's ridiculous that tier 1 or tier 2 literally does no retaliation. That, like, it literally is just a waste of B-mats on a front. It's a big chunk of B-mats per howitzer. It's really
I mean, hell, you're a builder, and I've done just about every freaking role there is. It sucks because you're getting shelled by 120, 150, and it can't even reach out against the rockets because they're well out of retail range now, and it's like, what do you do? You can't effectively combat that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just weird. I really don't like that change, and it doesn't incentivize builders to build howitzers, and you just get demolished by 120 and 50 all day. I don't know.
It does make me wonder if that was some sort of attempt at an incentive to get people to mount up in aircrafts more to deal with artillery, but
Well, there's nothing to
clearly that
really.
didn't work if that was the case.
Well, the problem is there's no real way to like, and it would only be one-sided if that were the case, and only for partial of the war, because there's nothing you can do to entrenched artillery unless you have a bomber, which is
Yeah.
way too late, and everything else is just not worth it. Like, the only one that can get countered is the Colonial 120 by dive bombers or the Warden 20 mil plane or 14.5 plane. Those are the only two things that would be able to ever counter it, and it's only one side that has that issue because Wardens have only entrenched artillery. So
Yeah.
it's I don't have an answer. I just personally, I think everyone would be happy if tier 2 howitzers would retail against artillery. I think if you have a bunker up to tier 2 tech, which takes like, if you're in enemy territory, it takes like, sometimes if it's low pop hours, like up to 8 hours. Like, it takes a long time to get that tier 2 tech in. And if you have that long to set stuff up with perma AI, I think you should be rewarded for it. I think if you're just building tier 1 dirt, you should get pummeled by 120 and 50. But I think if you let them build up to tier 2, you should get punished for that. I don't. I hate how mad 120 and 150 just demolishes every single tier 2 base. It's, even if it's not killing it, it's draining people off the front for repairs, and then it's just a constant, literally people just smacking bunkers with hammers, and that's their whole gameplay loop for, and I shit you not, it can last up to 24 hours of artillery rain. I've seen it. Fucking blinding stones, fuck those guys that were up there. I will
Alright,
fuck you. And I was
that is,
so happy to break that goddamn concrete, dude. I'm not joking. Dude,
well, maybe
we literally were in my chat. No, bro. We fucking counted. It was 12 real life fucking hours of getting 120, dude. I'm not. And then we came back the next day and they did it again. I was. Oh my. You can tell how mad I am now, bro. I was pissed.
Bro, seven cat.
My man's never
built
even
that
been
up
to
very well.
Verdun.
They
Bro.
built that up extremely well. They had
fucking 12 guns too, bro.
two
Oh.
large shell facilities and a rocket battery facility. And
I fucking know. I killed him.
If only he knew the amount of shit that was in there.
Dude. Hats off to those guys, but fuck those guys, bro.
That is so that entire base that was over at Scrying. I even told them, a couple of the members of 7 Cap, they did some damn good work building that up, setting that the way that they did, and used the terrain to their damn advantage. That was brilliantly done.
It was really good. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was happy we finally broke it, but dude, like. Oh my god, dude. Like, even in tanks, bro, when you'd hop out and they'd track you and you'd hop out to repair and then you'd die and you'd have to go get another kit and then you'd come back and die to Artie again, bro. You have like a 40-second timer then and then you got to go do it again. Oh my god,
the best
bro.
was whenever y'all,
Okay.
The best was whenever they looped around the mountain to the north. They killed the tier 2 and they're like, "It's fucking tier 3. What the hell?"
Oh. That being said, what's up? Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
I have a very just top of my head idea, and you guys let me know if this is at all good or not. What if we go back to the old howitzer system where they can retaliate against 150s and 120s? But they had a chance to be turreted like tanks. So instead of having to like always repair them up to, or always just repair the base, constantly repairing damage, it then became more of a whack-a-mole game. You're trying to make sure all your guns, all your howitzers are still up and running, as opposed to maybe focusing. Because then the enemy artillery would want to focus the guns first, knock them offline, and then focus the base. But then it gives a chance for the builders to be like, okay, we just have to repair like 10% on this howitzer, 10% on that howitzer, and get them back up. I don't know. I'm just kind of making this idea up, but
I like spitballing ideas like that. I like those ideas. I don't hate the idea of, okay, counter. What if howitzers could only retaliate so much they overheated?
Okay, yeah.
What if they had an overheat mechanic?
Not opposed to that idea either.
Because if you could, like, quote unquote, out-sustain the defenses, you know what I mean? Like, deal enough damage to the howitzers to where you can't solely rely on them, but you could rely on them to help, I guess.
Kind of like the fire extinguishing room.
Exactly. It doesn't allow for complete abandonment of your base. You would need to get counter Artie up or to get a push going to get that Artie dead, but it would buy you a buffer time zone of you might be able to kill a pallet or you might be able to slow their fire down to buy you some time. I think a heat system with artillery, much like what they did with the storm cannons, obviously way less because it's not as damaging, but I think that idea has some very good sustainment in the artillery realm and howitzer realm. I think that has a lot of good benefits that could go with that.
I can agree to that because, I mean, you think like longer artillery piece, and this I'm talking IRL.
I just had an idea,
like,
boys.
The longer an artillery piece fires, the more you're going to have to actually cool it down, and they actually cool down the artillery piece between each shot. It's the same with the HIMARS system.
Oh, hell yeah. I can't wait for devs to add pissing mechanics. You could piss on your...
Yes, dude.
No, what I want the devs to add is a motherfucking fishing feature at the home region. I just want that. That's all. I don't care what they do. I just want fishing at the home region. That's it.
So
Would you
here's
accept fishing with grenades?
No, I want an actual reel. I want a reel. I want a fucking rod and a fucking hook, line, rod,
All right.
fishing vessel. Only
what
at home.
Marine.
Only at-
What are you talking about? You can go fishing right now, dude. Just go get in a submarine, open the hatch, and go swim up and catch a fish on your way up. Easy.
Yeah, but see, that would require me to go hunting for wardens.
So here's another thing. I think this would be another add-on to the cooling system. If you had a howitzer piece and you had the fire suppression system with water in it, it would give you more
It cools the
longevity.
guns down
More
faster.
longevity.
Okay.
And I was like,
Okay.
oh, like that would be cool
Get some
engineering.
interacting with other systems.
That would be
that's
sick,
good.
dude.
Good thinking.
Devs, I
good
hope you
thinking.
listen to this one, bro. That's some heat, dude. That's some heat.
Just clip the last like 3 minutes and then send it to them or something.
Yeah, dude, I will. I'm gonna send this like straight to Max's DMs, dude. Be like, listen, bro. I know I don't have the best ideas, but I think I could. That being said, I want to talk about the devs cooking here. Okay. I am so fucking happy they finally gave the destroyer a back ammo room, dude.
All right.
Yes, bro. Yes.
So staring at this image a lot recently.
Me
Remind me
too.
where it used to be.
So
It used to be
here's
in
the
middle,
problem.
right?
No, only in the front. You would have to run shells. Like, so the meta used to be you would carry boxes of ammo in the inventory back here, and you would put them, like, you would uncrate them, and you'd have 5 shells in the inventory where you spawned, and then you'd pull from the spawn inventory, like a bunker base inventory, like, and it'd only be 5 shells at a time, and then you'd single load those like that. You'd have to open up an interface, left click, get the shell out, then put it in. Now you're gonna press V, 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 and it's gonna be so much faster. Also going with the other implementation. VV, yeah. So yeah, this is another change they did. You used to have to press E as an echo on the inventory system here and then select the 120 shell and then do it. If the 120 is showing now, or any item that is showing in the actual shelf here, it's
like,
an instant pull. So now
super helpful. Ammo room like you would do in a bunker.
These are going to be it's going to make ship combat way more competitive. Like, especially for the destroyer. Like, the frigate had some, like, fuck around stuff they could do, like putting a shell through a wall, and every warden regiment was doing it. Like, you would grab, not every warden regiment, don't take me out of context there, but most of the warden regiments that were doing, like, heavy naval stuff, they had an exploit that never got changed. They would get a shell from here, and then their 120 gun was right here, and they would pass through, like, this wall right here, and they still had some, like, bullshit to do. Now I'm pretty sure the Warden Frigate has an ammo room in the midsection now, so they get the same treatment where they're not having to do this bullshit. Both guns on both ships are going to be way more competitive, which is very nice. And I think just doing that and making the ships more up-to-date, competitive, I think you're going to see a lot more naval resurgence come alive. I think, especially Colonials this war.
We even have,
we did a lot of good naval stuff this war, which was awesome to see. And I think that's going to expand and grow, especially with this new update to the naval toys. S-tier update. Colonials have been crying about this ammo room bullshit. Like, and I'm not joking. Once you ran out of ammo, like I don't know how many crates you could have back there. You would literally have to run on the right side of the ship all the way here, grab the shell, and then all the way back just to get a shell into that room. And that's what made Colonials just rage. And now I feel like it's actually going to be a skill-based skill-based system of where you're aiming the guns. Because it's not a reload issue anymore. Now it's about how many targets can I land, or how many hits can I land on target. And
Yeah.
oh man, S tier update.
Just gotta
Man,
give you that midget submarine now, and you're all good.
you know, here's the thing. I actually want to give credit where it's due as well. I am not mad anymore. I've come to terms that we have the long submarine, but I like how they're starting to give benefits to the large submarine that it deserves. Longer time underwater, bigger battery life, going deeper in depth. Those kind of things are what larger submarines were good at doing versus shallow water submarines. Much like deep water subs versus shore water. Like I'm not naval termed. There's someone gonna fucking ream me for saying it like that, but there were definitely shallower submarines, and then there was also like deep sea submarines. And I like how they're turning ours into a deep sea submarine, giving us lower depth, stuff like that. I am not as mad with the indifference in submarines anymore. I know it's only 5 meters difference, but 5 meters is a big thing when you're talking about depth. At least in this game, right? Not real life, but I really like that. I think that they're doing a lot of naval changes that are long overdue, and I really think a cool thing too. I still think the medium ships are the best thing out of airborne, dude. And that's so sad to say, but those medium boats are kick
Those medium
ass,
boats, dude.
bro.
I still love
They're
the Strider.
kick ass, dude. And I kind of feel bad. I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to be advocating for a Warden medium boat upgrade. I do not like their medium boat turret up front. I think it's a fine turret. The issue I have with it is it does not swivel enough. It needs to have more range of motion, like 100 and like, because it only has like 75 degrees. Like it's really bad.
That's not the biggest debuff about that boat. The biggest debuff about that boat is that it's fucking ugly. It's so ugly. Please, just put it out of its misery.
No. You cannot talk about the aesthetics when we had the open top boat for how many fucking years?
At least no. Open top, closed top doesn't matter.
It looked
Can
fucking
still
cool.
look good. Can still look good. That old fucking steamer ship thing should have been sunk yesteryear.
Yeah, I think I do think it's an ugly fucking turd. A lot of people don't like the Fat Homer, but I'm gonna be honest, I like that little boat, bro.
Fat Homer again.
Dude, that Fat Homer, the Fat Homer's pretty cool,
What
man.
is the Fat Homer?
That's the Warden
It's the
AA boat.
Oh, the Fathomer, right? Okay.
I always call it the Fat Homer. It's the Fathomer, but I always call it Fat Homer. It's the Fat Homer, dude. It's the big old lug boat, baby. Big old chug of lug.
That one's okay.
I like that boat, but I don't know. I really like that they're giving a lot of quality of life to naval as much as they're repairing air. Air is obviously still a long way from being in a great spot, but I think naval is in a better spot than it's probably ever been, to be honest.
For sure. Speaking of ships, torpedoes, and submarines, you want to bring up the
torpedo nets.
The defenses? Yeah, well, the torpedo nets, in addition to those new ports they set up, have you visited any of those ports they set up?
Yes.
I have a little story for you boys.
Man.
Pretty
I
cool.
was streaming the other day when I went to go look at them, and I do have a complaint for the devs too that I want to address in this, because it's really bad. Excuse me. So I got to see the AA mode on the AA gun active. There was a Warden Scout plane. As soon as I spawned in, I heard goom, goom, goom. I'm like, the fuck is that? And then I walk outside and I see the turret aiming up. And I'm like, oh my God, it's going to shoot that plane down. And it shot its last warning shot. And then like a split second later, I just see the fucking body of the fucking scout plane. One shot, boom, dead. And I was like, that's
funny
fucking
enough,
sweet.
I flew a scout plane at an AA turret this dev branch. It didn't even give me a warning shot. It gave me one shot and I was killed immediately. So I don't know what happened, if I just glitched or whatever.
So
but it just one shot at me.
If someone else, the thing is, like, let's say you have multiple planes going in at the same time, I don't think it gives warning shots for every player. I think if someone went right before you and it was still in its aggressive mode, I think it was still accurate. If it just one tapped you. Like if someone flew right in front of you, I'm pretty sure if you like try to swarm these things with scout planes, you're going to be losing a shitload of RMATs. 90% sure. I don't think it gives warning shots to every plane. I think it's 3 warning shots, and then I think it's laser beam time. So
because the way the definition and the way that it works is as it's going from no aggression to actually being able to be on target, it's firing just those 3 warning shots saying, "Hey, fuck off." Okay, nope, dead. It is going to laser beam you if you
it hits, and it one tap scout planes. So don't think you're going to be getting around these little naval bases and shit with scout planes, boys. I'm telling you right now, you're not. It will laser beam your ass.
Fair enough.
That being said,
does anyone know if it can be suppressed by artillery or arms of any kind? Or
I was waiting for magic boxes to come out before I got Bone on to doing our testing.
they're out now, by the way. If you didn't know.
Yeah, I was gonna go tomorrow. I went golfing for the first time today, actually.
Oh, nice.
We're not gonna talk about the score.
Okay,
but we went golfing.
Is the grass field still a grass field?
I am actually pretty good at hitting the ball. I don't hit it very far, but I hit it where I want. But I don't.
Well,
I don't overdo
as long as
it.
it doesn't look like a gopher's been through the.
No. No, it was good. I did spend a lot of time in the beach. I spent a lot of time in the beach.
I don't have the patience for golf.
Very fun. That being said, though, the new nets and the new bases are badass. I think they'll be the most contested Civil War fighting areas for bases in the game. They are that clean. The dry docks, however, a lot of people think they're going to be printing ships out of these. I do not think that is the intent. I think Dad's at the door.
Yeah, he is. Someone is. Hang on, give me a second. I'll be right back.
Very good. Sorry, I'm not. I saw a bear, guys, and he's not Bare Bones Gaming, but it's okay. That being said, though, the new naval bases are kick-ass, but I do not think they're going to be. I don't think you're going to be printing ships out of these like people think. I think they're meant for quick repairs, and I think they're there for quick reloads. I think it's a speed. I think this is for repairing ships, getting ships going. Now, what is cool, though, is you can fit dry docks in these little patches here. Like this. These are specifically designed to fit dry docks. This is actually the one I visited in Light's End. Still pissed off that we have a wordinized coastal gun. This one I really would have expected to be colonialized. A little sad, a little disappointed. That being said, not a big deal. But what I did find very interesting is gunboats can push their nose up to the safe house here and load their boats from the safe house. That is a W thing, I think. They have a shipyard there too, so you're going to be able... They didn't remove those, which is really nice. But they're really cool layouts, man. And I think when you're printing ships or anything like that, you can set really nice nets in front. And I think they're really cool. I think I really like landscapes like this when they change the
I watched I logged on DevBranch and I watched Chamberlain put a blueprint for a dry dock. It fits perfect.
Yeah, they designed it for
perfectly and pristinely in there.
Yeah, it's definitely
they did a good job on these. Like a really damn good job on these.
Yeah, I think these will be really cool areas, and I'm really excited to see how they shake up the meta. Now, getting on to my not favorite thing. I gotta go find where they changed it. The Evil Eye, the Evil Eye base has some serious issues. That needs to be addressed. It's very bad. And the problem is this airfield was moved to better starting war conditions, mirroring the airfield at Terra and Farnack. I don't believe that at all. So to give you guys like a little update on where everything sits, the relic is here at where the hell was the evil eye before? I think that's a new relic.
Wasn't endless.
Yeah, this is endless. Because this used to be Tuatha. So anyway, they added another relic right where my cursor is, guys. And the airfield is right here. It runs this way, lengthwise. The airfield is right here, and the other little
The hangar and the depot.
well, the hangar and depot is here, but the small hangar is right here. And the issue with this is you're going to be able to gunboat this relic for free, and there's nowhere to place defenses here. And also, if this place were to get attacked, you're going to have to be lodging this place from where you're getting attacked from as a colonial. And the problem is they're saying it mirrors Terra, which is insane because Terra can't get mortared at all. The runways or anything. I don't even think here they'd be able to. Yeah, they can't even do it from there. There's rocks here to where you're not going to be getting in. Like, I think there's a beach here, but I don't think you can access this area. I think
No, it's too shallow in between
like
the other rocks.
either way, this is also way more defendable. Way more defendable and way better position than right there on the northern side where you're going to be getting slammed, dude. Like the hangar, the small hangar, and the relic are all in gunboat range, and there's no coastal gun to defend this. There's nothing here to defend invaders from coming besides a bridge. And like there's a beach that you literally can't set defenses on. Like if you guys are watching this live, like please do as I did and send a report ticket or send feedback in the dev stream or dev branch revision. Evil Eye needs to be changed. My suggestion was to move this Evil Eye relic in between Endless Shore and Enduring Wake in this section. I feel like this would be a very cool place to battle over, and it would also give a depot that is not so far back and over a bridge. This would give us a nice depot, much like the Wardens have at Brackish. Like we have one at Iron's End, or Iron Junction, but I think if we added that airfield here, it'd be a lot more competitive to fight over. I just don't like how it's so out on this island. Not a big fan. I think this needs to be moved to the center island. And I think this is at least more 50-50 ground as to that's like, I'm going to be honest, this is very north favored, very heavily north favored. Yeah. Needs to be changed.
That's basically all free reign, man. Like, jeez.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I do like, I don't think this is very fair for them to attack. That'd be like if it was at Bonehaft, which would be incredibly strong. So I am more in favor of it being between Endless and Enduring. I think people fight over this area all the time in a normal war. This is usually a slaughterhouse, so I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, that's just my complaint. I really encourage all you guys watching live or in the YouTube video, go send feedback to the devs because this is like...
That's literally going to be the only way that we can actually ensure that there's a corrective balance on that.
It's bad. I mean, even if they want to keep the relic there and add a new one here, that's like... I mean, let's be honest, even for Wardens, dude, like... If that's where we would just walk the border here and just gunboat the shit out of it from the backside. Like, that's not fun for anyone, and there's no way to defend it. Oh, and the Logi route's literally only one way from the north there. You can't do it from the back. It's on a hill. So, definitely write feedback about this. I do not think that's very good. The King's Cage one, Weep Home and Claustra. Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't seem very fair either. I think this is always a colonial because it's like right here. The airfield is the new one. That seems a little tough for them to come take, but at the same time, Wardens have had superior airfield ownership for like 3 wars now. They started with more airfields. That's why they got rid of the ones in Lynn and I forgot where the other one was. But yeah, I want fairness. I want it to be a good battle. I don't want bullshit mechanics. I want good gameplay, and I don't think that'll be good at all. Hope Bear's okay.
Same.
Improved large ship physics calculations. Oh, okay, yeah. Wait, what? Conqueror's 120 gunners exit position differs from the entrance position. Okay. Oh, that's awesome. This is all just bug fixes now. They haven't added anything new from what I've seen. So, I mean, all in all, what do we think about these updates and stuff? Like
The updates that are coming down are good, need to change, especially for the large ships, like the destroyer and the frigate. Like that was definitely needed. Like,
yeah, I'm excited about those a lot.
and I think if people are gonna want to do naval gaming and naval gameplay, they're gonna have a much better time with it.
I think Naval's been the best spot it's been since its release. In all honesty,
Yeah, and I agree with you with the medium boats. Those are a lot of fun.
I definitely think the boats are in the best position they've been in, and I think that I think planes are on their way. I think they're making the right adjustments to I think they're making the right adjustments to planes to make them more spammable and not as logistics heavy or time inclusive.
Yeah.
While also making them not too OP, which I really like. So I am interested though, and I want to ask Bear when he gets back, what things do you still want added? What things are we still missing?
Looking at it from a streamer's perspective, I want a better streamer mode. I am not going to stop telling them that the streamer mode needs to be improved. I've even told them, especially with people that have a 2 PC setup, it is absolute fucking hell to set up an overlay in order for it to actually work correctly. The overlay and map cover that I have, it took me 9 months to get the NDI link that I have to register from my game PC to my stream PC. It's not as effective as a lot of people think.
What would you want added? What's bad about it right now?
So if say one part of the NDI link is not up to date with the other part, it just won't work. If I open up the map and there's no cover, but people can argue, oh, use the secure map. No, I want to be able to see movements. Secure map doesn't do that for me. I want to be able to see what's going on with the front line. I should click I have streamer mode enabled, but it doesn't restrict people from stream sniping or me potentially intel leaking or any of that other crap, which I'll touch on that issue here in a little bit. If I have streamer mode on, and the same with anything that has a streamer mode, if I open up the map, it should be a blank ass map that the viewers see, but I'm able to see everything on it. Essentially merging the actual real map with secure mode. You don't show anything towards the viewers if you have streamer mode on, but at the same time, you as the player are able to see everything in its entirety.
How would they go about doing that though? How would that work?
Not a coder, but I'm pretty sure there's a way that they can code it to where it would work. You take what you have with the secure mode and you code it to where it'll implement if you have the if you have streamer mode enabled. Because the only thing streamer mode does, it doesn't show where you're driving to. It doesn't show who submitted what lodging, and it doesn't show for the most part. No, that's it. It doesn't show that. Those are the only two items that streamer mode does not do. That's it. Everybody's like, "Oh, just put a keybind on." I have a keybind, but if my NDI link isn't working, there's nothing that I can do.
Well, and the other issue with that too is, I don't know. There's a lot of issues in the game. I mean, it's a small community. I mean, Summit doesn't play the game on stream because you just get stream sniped like a motherfucker, and it's that easy.
Yeah, and that you also have the list of where people want to or be able to track you and everything else. So it is what it is.
I don't know how much influence the devs would actually have over that, nor do I know the possibility of that being actually a thing they could do. But I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility when you open your map, you see something that the
And the viewers
stream
can't even see anything.
But what I'm asking though
blank
is
ass map.
that more or less that I don't know how they code it to.
I heard you gossiping about me. Sorry, I'm back.
We're hoping you're
a
okay.
former neighbor showed up, so I had to chat with him for a few minutes. But
That's
it was
fine.
a good meeting. Sorry.
It's good.
Where are we at?
So, what we were talking about a minute ago was we were talking. Well, he was talking about the streamer mode. I forget what I was talking about before that.
Like what we would want to see.
Oh yeah,
added.
what we want to see added. Because we were talking about like how good the game is at its current state. What you'd want to see added. Like what else do you think needs to be going in?
Just anything in general, or
just I mean, what are you missing right now?
I have so many things from my suggestion series that I've mentioned. Funny enough, one of the biggest sticking points with Naval that I had was that there wasn't any sort of support ship. But now, especially with the torpedo netting and the buoys, I'm realizing that the little tugboat is our support ship. I would like to see it have a bit more utility. I'd like to see the ability to maybe if there was some tool or something on the tugboat that could repair ships at sea. For no other reason than it's really fucking stupid that you can not repair a barge on a beach if it's like 2 meters too far into the deeper water so that infantry can't physically hit it with a hammer and then it's locked so you can't actually get on top of it and stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, some of
that's
the tweaks
that's an
like that.
annoyance that I wish didn't exist. I think I mentioned it last time I was on the podcast, but you meant you mentioned earlier about howitzers not returning fire on mortar teams. I think it would be the perfect opportunity to introduce a mortar garrison to a bunker. You know, have mortars deal with mortars, have artillery or howitzers deal with artillery, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, I have some bigger pie in the sky ideas. I mean, I do still think, and I know it sucks if you're a builder hearing this, but I still think the single um the single thing that dictates the pace of a foxhole war is how committed the builders are and how extensive bunker lines are. I think if we want more mobile warfare in the game, either the tech tree needs to run through its tech faster so you can get to end game faster, or bunkers need to somehow be made less omnipresent in the world. But I know even just saying that, that's going to put the burden on a group of players. I don't know which group of players, probably builders, but hopefully not. I'd like to see sappers have more tools. Like I'd like to see dozer tanks to be able to clear, you know, minefields or clear tank obstacles or clear barbed wire and or bury trenches, something to
Just
give
allow us to build a kill dozer. That'd be awesome.
yeah, but like just give the sappers more to do so that bunkers can't last as long without strictly putting the onus on builders, but even that's kind of a contradiction in of itself. So plenty more that the game could have, but you know, it'll come eventually. I will say though, this new 6 week dev cycle is both making me hate but also making me nostalgic for the good old days of the first year or two that I was doing update videos for Foxhole, when it was literally like every month there'd be a new update to cover. Of course, I didn't have a job or a home or other
Life.
things in my life to take care of. Um, so I had a bit more free time then, but it is kind of nice to be back. At least the updates aren't huge, but they are still packed with a lot more content than I thought they would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually curious if they're hiding anything else that they're going to be adding.
For
Oh, you know
this update,
they are. They're 100% hiding something.
He's being silent again.
yeah,
He signed another NDA. It's all good. Uh,
no, I don't. Wait, hold on. Do you mean for this update or? Oh
I
yeah,
just,
actually, yeah. I totally forgot to mention. The Kali Scout plane's getting its old damage model back. So.
oh man, that'll be
Damn it!
so
Hey, that's
sweet.
it.
Uh,
But I'm waiting.
Lanier turn rate did this. God damn it.
The lunar modifier.
But for the
The
record,
lunar weight
for
modifier.
for for any Warden loyalists out there, I don't actually hate the Lunaire. I don't think it's overpowered. I do think it's annoying though, because when people say it's overpowered, it's not. It just gets used en masse. It's like a bone car, right? It's not overpowered, but it's probably annoying to face like 20 of them. The Lunaire's not overpowered, but it's annoying when you face 20 guys armed with them and then it literally all you hear is grenades going off. So,
it's
I
oh
don't know.
my god, dude. I gotta give it to whoever did it in the
Actually,
Stone Cradle.
did, did
Oh
we
my
talk
god.
about the grenade changes? Speaking of grenades?
Okay, that's actually a good call. The gas one, okay. Gas is very annoying and omnipresent and very frustrating. The grenade changes are pretty fucking wild. I think it was a hard nerf that nobody fucking asked for. I
No,
think it's
no,
weird.
Yeah.
no one wanted the decrease on the box.
Like needless stuff like
I
that just makes me feel like it's just a nerf on logistics for no fucking reason. Because it doesn't mean you're gonna stop bringing 600 grenades to the front. It just means it takes 4 fucking trips and it takes 5
it,
fucking more hours to
yeah,
do it all.
Mammon's also got a range reduction, right? Or
Wait, no, I think it.
no,
Whoa.
no. It was just the Harpas and the Bombas, right?
Well, they didn't
The
get any
Harpas,
range.
the Bomas, and
And the gas.
the
They
gas.
didn't get range
They got a
reductions. I
like
don't think, did they?
they didn't get range reduction or damage
They
reduction. The
just
only
cut the
reduction they got is how
logistics.
many per crate.
So instead of
Oh,
25
oh, oh, oh,
bomas,
someone.
instead
Okay,
of
someone got that
25
wrong then, yeah.
bomas, it's 10 bomas. Instead of 20 harpas, it's 10 harpas. Instead of 10
Yeah,
gas, it's 5
that's
gas. It's just extra logi and it's extra facility and
yeah,
logi work.
that's
That's, in my eyes, doing shit like that is not going to change your front. It just changes the amount of burnout someone's going to do. Like, in my
yeah, no,
eyes, that has no difference on what the front line will do with them or how they're going to be spammed at all. At all.
yeah.
It just pisses the Logi guys off. And I
Like
don't think that's a good move. I don't.
yeah, no, I don't agree with that either. It's funny because like again, one of my suggestion series videos I talked about, oh, it'd be cool if they introduced tunnel warfare into the game to undermine defenses, which I do think they should still do, and maybe they hinted at it with those mines that they put in the airborne update or those caves or whatever. But like you can't nerf or take away or whatever grenades if you're not going to have another thing that will deal with defenses, especially
Yeah.
in the early war, right?
Well,
Like if they did tunnel warfare, sure, yeah, make grenades less spammable, but they're not adding that, so they shouldn't make grenades less spammable.
and like, I hate to break it to 90% of the population. The only ever reason you'll take a bridge is because of grenades. The only way you'll
Yeah.
ever push a bridge or a trench holding a bridge is with a grenade. Like, there's no
Well, until
other
tanks
way.
come around, but yeah.
Even then, you're not gonna build the bridge when it's dead unless you have grenades to
Oh,
clear the other
right.
side.
Yeah, no, fair point.
You have to have these things in mass to take land, because if you don't have them, you can't clear the riflemen even protecting the bridge, right? Like, you just can't do it. And to make it harder to push land, especially with, you said it, tanks being in the mix once the late game comes out, the only way infantry live is in trench warfare, and the only way people move trench to trench is clearing it with a grenade. So again, you're
Yep.
just hurting infantry gameplay, but more or less you're hurting the logistics, because it's still going to get made en masse to make land movements, and now you're just making the Logimen take 2 extra trips. Or you're stalemating the front line even longer, which again is not what we want. We don't want blitz warfare, but again, we don't want another builder update with a 79 or 69 day fucking war.
Nice.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just that's a question mark
Yeah.
thing.
I mean, this is a thing I've talked about in the past, just probably on stream. I don't remember if I had in a suggestion video or not, but I think if they're ever going to change grenades in the future, they should just add a very small amount of dispersion to grenades. This kind of the same way artillery is. The closer you throw a grenade, the less dispersion it'll have. But if you throw a grenade at max range, it might go off by like a half meter or a meter, depending.
You got to be careful, because now we're getting into the territory of, if I have wind as a colonial and I get 20 meters at.
Oh, I'm not even talking about. I mean, sure, but I'm not even talking about dispersion by wind. But like, imagine if instead of a dot or like a point target where your
It
grenade's
gave a
gonna
cone,
land,
like a circle.
Yeah, exactly. It just gives you a circle
That'd
of
be
like
cool.
your grenade might land somewhere in this circle. So
that'd be cool, actually. I think that'd be really cool.
So when that happens, we can go back and reference this and be like, "You are a dev."
Yeah, when that gets added, boys, we'll know who did it.
Go back and look at my naval suggestion series. A lot of stuff made it in.
Don't make me. Hey, dude, I am sitting in front of this computer all day, every day. Don't make me have to siphon through your stuff.
We're gonna deep dive.
I'm
Give us the bear files. Give us the bear files.
Just look up naval suggestion series for Foxhole. You'll find my video, and you're gonna see that like a lot of the things were added in there a year later. No, 2 years later, whatever.
With some of the
Um,
suggestions that some of the players have suggested,
yeah.
it does show that the devs actually do listen and they do pay attention.
Yeah,
I
they take their time with it, but they do listen. And I said this on the last podcast as well. I like it when they take the feedback, but then don't necessarily implement the solutions we suggest, because it surprises us, and it usually is a little bit like a smarter solution than just, oh, fix the numbers on this thing. It's like, no, 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 we're gonna rework this gear or introduce a
Mhm.
new item, and it's gonna do this and this and this functions, and then yeah, I think
Ooh.
just like with the pilot's mask, like
Mhm.
no one liked the 2 Intel system. This pilot mask looks cool, so it's aesthetically pleasing and does the job we wanted it to do, which is, not balanced, but functional,
So, how long until
something. Yeah.
on Nexus mods is that going to turn into a samurai mask and a full shogun mask? How long do we think that lasts? Till that's
Well,
added.
now that you said it, about 24 hours.
I hope so. That'd be
No,
sick.
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
I would all well, now hang on. I believe you're forgetting a large subsection of specifically the artists in the foxhole community. Um, you know, especially now that I say it, there's gonna be like an uwu mask.
The fact
Yeah.
you just said it, now that's going to get added before the shogun mask that I just
No,
suggested.
no. Think worse, not just the
Hey,
mask.
hey,
What else?
hey,
What else?
artists.
What?
Hey,
Hold on.
artists. Hey, Gani. Hey, the man. Hey,
What else
Galfa.
do you
Anyways, go ahead.
think what else do you think that's gonna come out from the modding community on
Ooh, I
top
don't
of the
know.
mask that's sound specific oriented on a tripod?
Oh,
Yeah,
on a tripod.
the air raid siren.
What, a boombox?
Oh, right. Shit. Yeah, I forgot about that. Those are cool.
What,
Yeah,
we're
but you
getting a
know
boombox?
somebody in the modding community is gonna rule 34 that shit.
How do you rule 34 an air raid siren?
You
You
replace
don't
the
want to
audio
know if
with
you are
audio
asking
from
that
explicit
question.
materials. No,
Oh.
no, you know what?
If
It's
you can
probably
mod, no, if you can
they're
mod the
just
sound of the
gonna
hammer making the frying pan sound, God forbid what else other people are gonna
Dude,
do.
you know what I really want it to be? You know what I really want a modder to do? Which would be really
What?
funny and lore accurate? Evacuate the area. 82 DK is entering the region. All evacuate. That'd be fucking awesome
all
if someone did
non-essential
that. Yeah,
personnel
all
need to leave the
non-essential
region.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god.
I would
I remember the
100%.
copy pasta.
I would
Yes, dude.
100% get the sound mod that Gator plays.
Yeah,
That's when
yeah.
we're out. I
420
want
was.
that. I
That
want
was
No, no,
so
no,
that
no.
as
funny.
air raid siren.
Have you ever seen the Admiral von Klaus Eminem rap one?
No.
No.
Oh, dude. Oh, hold on. I
Send
mean,
it
it
to me. I'll
technically
look.
might get strict for copyright stuff, but let me
Just
bring
send it
this
to
to you.
me
Hang on.
Yeah, just
on
DM
Discord.
us.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up
DM me.
later.
I'll play it later. But yeah,
Oh, dude,
But no,
it's so fucking funny. I'm surprised you never heard of this one.
that'll be really good though. I think you'll get some funny stuff from that. And
yeah.
something else I'm pretty excited about too going forward is I mean I personally like where they're trying to make old gear more usable, much like the tankette
Yeah.
got some buffs. I like
Yep.
seeing tankettes late war. Like I like seeing things like that late war. And something I'm actually curious. Bear, have you stepped in a scorpion recently at all?
Not recently. No, I did see one on the front last war, or 2 wars ago,
Marine,
something. I don't know.
what about
It's
you?
been a while.
Not recently.
Okay. So, since the MG Bloom nerf that happened to all MG tanks, um, they're a lot less spammed than they used to be. They used to be all over,
Mhm.
but now it's a lot less spammed. Something I would really enjoy to see, and it's something the devs like doing, and something I think would make the Scorpion go from, like, in my opinion, a C tier tank to, like, maybe an A tier tank or even a B tier tank, and something I would really like to see. I think it'd be really cool if the Scorpion added a tripod system. Much like I want it on the Tankette,
Oh.
I think it'd
Oh,
be
so
really
you
cool to add 2 tripod guns into the Scorpion, much like the Tankette, and be a universal, like, carrier kind of thing where they can change the gun out. I like tripod weapons, and I think it'd be a really cool use of the tripod system. Now, obviously, I don't think they should be able to go into AA mode because of the lock or whatever, but I think it'd be really cool if you could slap 2 Lamentums in there, or 2 Typhoons, or 2
I mean that
Dawkus.
that's essentially like a tank version of that godforsaken Warden half track that's got 2 MGs on it,
Yeah,
or
but
an
they don't
MG plus
get.
a tripod spot. I don't remember how.
No, it's
But
just two
it's type 12/7.
7.92s. It's
It's
two
type.
Yeah,
not.
it's just two
It's only
792s. So
7/92.
Yeah, they don't get
it'd
options.
basically be that, but with tripods.
Yeah, and I
I
think
honestly, I
Okay.
think I think anything that fires in MG like that, or just 12/7 specific, should be modular to where you can swap out, one of the barrels for something else.
I
Like
just
I
think
think that would be
it's.
a completely different game loop on it
I think that's kind
instead
of
of it
in
just
their
being
thing,
abstract.
though, right? Like, that's kind of what the devs like to do, is make things more modular for the players with assets they already have in the
Yeah.
game, right? And I
You know,
think.
I this. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I think it would add, like, one of the biggest complaints I've had about the game for a long time, and I'm very thankful they're changing, is giving us more flavor in the Colonial tank line. Like, a while ago, it was light tank. Same thing with the MP or Falchion. It's the exact same with more armor, more same distance, same everything, same exact playstyle. And then the Spatha, the exact same thing, right? And then then it just went to the Bardiche. You know what I mean? It was the exact same play
Mhm.
loop, and I like that they did with the Wardens. They gave them a very fun spammable 30 mil triple shotgun with a different type of commander's hatch. They gave a lot of flavor to the MPF version of the Outlaw, the Brigand. I love the ingenuity they did with that. I like how they mixed it up. And then it was to the Silverhand and the HCD. Like, the Warden tank line's very flavorful, right? And the
Mhm.
Colonial tank line is getting very flavorful now.
Yeah.
It'll be until we can upgrade. I want to say give
The Nemesis edition.
the
Was
Nemesis
cool.
like a variant, and I think it'll be pretty
But I
flavorful.
just
Yeah,
think
the
it'd
Nemesis is
be.
really unique. Actually, I was gonna ask for you guys because you guys both typically play Colonials a bit more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Well,
would a
I mean,
variant of the
after this
Nemesis?
last war, I ain't ever touched
Oh,
a warden again. So
He's a
what
sore
what
subject,
would a
guys.
variant? What would a variant of the Nemesis for you guys look like? Because I haven't put too much thought into that,
that would
honestly.
be that would be the Column Predator without the grenade launchers, the dual grenade launchers, in a smaller format. And don't even get me started on the super heavy variants going toe to toe with each other, because the Column Predator tank being a 94.5 with 2 grenade launchers and the goddamn amount of arsenal that it can carry versus double barrel 75 mil. That's it.
I mean, not even talking about the Ares. I still think everyone that I know of that's a very, like, Howard veteran knows the Ares is not in a wonderful spot right now. I don't even touch that subject anymore because
I was just gonna say strap one of the light AA tank guns onto it.
I mean,
Suddenly it's a heavy armored AA platform for your tank line.
you do not want that.
No,
You
no, you
do
don't.
not
You
want that
trust
at
me.
all. I
Trust me,
promise
homie.
you,
You
if
And
you
don't
also an
want
think,
that.
infantry deleter.
yeah, you have now an armored mobile infantry deleter that can run away
Yeah,
from
alright.
its problems
Well, what if
and doesn't get
what
muddy
if
as easy.
what if the AA gun is behind the main turrets and so it can't actually fire
So
forward?
I'm not
infantry.
opposed to that.
That's still the same issue as what um bare bones just or I'm still gonna fucking call you Berg. What Berg
Dude,
had
everyone calls
just
me Berg. Don't.
like
It's fine.
if infantry is chasing it, you're just going to annihilate the infantry.
Yeah,
mean,
It's
okay.
the
That's
same
fair.
problem no matter what.
Here's something I think would be a really cool curveball for the Nemesis would be is, and this might not make a lot of wardens happy, but a
Arthas.
Calliope style, like, or the old school half tracks for the Germans where they had like heavy munition senders, like rocket platform kind of thing, or just adding something on to the side skirts of it and making it a very mobile, like ARC RPG launcher or AP RPG launcher, or doing something like that. Or something that Marine said, which I think would be a really cool addition, is take away the commander's hatch in the top turret, rip open the top or the body of it, and then place a large 94.5 open top. Like, essentially, it'd be a bathtub 2.0. But I don't like that because it's copying what the wardens are. But something I think would be really cool is like a Hyvo 68, or an armor, a medium tank destroyer, and that's something Colonials have wanted for a while.
I was just thinking back to Battlefield 1. This is a bit of a story, but Battlefield 1, they featured the Mark V British tanks in it, and one of the variants you could do on it was take away the side guns, put machine guns on the side, but then the main gun up front would be the Gewehr, which is the I can't remember what caliber, but the giant like German anti-tank rifle. So now I'm thinking, well, do that with the Nemesis, take away or replace the main. Because the main gun's what? Not is it a 40 or is it it's a 68? Replace the 68 with essentially a more rapid fire, like the quick hatch sniper rifle, that, and then give it something else. I don't know. It obviously wouldn't be as good as in an anti-tank role, but maybe it goes faster, or maybe it has better off-road capabilities or something. It'd almost be like more of like light tank support. I don't know. I'm not sure. I just like the idea in my head.
You want
I'm trying to find other
Colonial
ways to put it.
Highwayman, you dirty little dog. I see what you want to do. You want
I
a
mean,
Colonial
I guess,
Highwayman.
but it would also have way fucking more range than a Highwayman. 'Cause that quick hatch goes pretty far.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff they could do with it. I think another thing.
A literal sniper tank. Then the Colonials can't complain about the Clancy Rocket.
Dude.
Well,
Dude.
I mean,
What are you
snipers
guys
got
going to do
fucking
today?
nerfs.
I'm going to go get in a sniper. Why do you have a tanker's uniform on? I'm going to go snipe on the front line. Why do you have a tanker's uniform? I'm going to go snipe on the front line.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we can legitimately say I'm probably the reason why the snipers got
No,
nerfed the way
dude.
they did.
No, Marine. I love you, and I know you're a good sniper, but holy ass, dude. It was every
Brother.
front all the time. Just bing, bing. One shot kill, one shot kill, everyone hated those things, dude. Thank God they got rid of one hit scan
I mean,
guns.
I didn't.
Well, I
dislike
mean,
them.
collies have the one hitter still, the quick hatch.
Yeah,
I think what they should have. I mean, personal opinion, I didn't think snipers were that bad. Just like in terms of
You don't know.
their damage characteristics. What I didn't like was, well, I didn't like the fact that you can't use them standing. I still think that's a stupid decision that they made. But I think what really made them prevalent, and I don't remember who was around for this, but is when they changed, because snipers used to have a unique ammunition for them. They removed that and switched them down over to the rifle, 7 point,
6-2.
7.6, yeah, 7.62, and then suddenly, oh, hey, look, sniper ammo is found on literally every front. I wonder what's going to turn up at every front now. I think what would be really interesting, I don't know if people would go for this, but I personally would like to see it tried. I think they should make snipers one hit the down, or even for the collie one, the one hit the bleed. I know some people take offense to that, whatever, just That's not the main idea here. I would love to see them convert sniper rifles from 7.62 to the MG ammo 12.7, which in real life is roughly equivalent to 50 cal. So essentially turn them into 50 cal sniper rifles. But you're now making a decision. Do I get a belt of 100 MG rounds to feed into my MG gunner holding back the Mammon Rushers? Or do I spend what could be 100 rounds of ammo and instead use it in a sniper rifle and only get 10 rounds of really accurate fire out of it, or 5 rounds of really accurate fire over it? It then becomes a decision that you have to make. Do you want fire output or do you want accuracy?
This is always my thing in the game. And although I do agree a sniper is only an annoyance, it's not really going to change the front however you really see fit. It's not. It's very annoying. My number one issue with snipers is there's not always a way to counter them. And that's why when you say, like, it's not a big deal for the Colonial sniper to not one shot, it's very annoying when you're getting outranged and when you finally do get in position to land the shot on them. If you don't kill them and then they one tap you, like I've had that happen where I've shot a sniper and then he saw my position and before I was bloomed back in, he was able to shoot me. It's not always necessarily what's fair or not, it's what's fun and not. And like
Sure.
as a counter sniper or a person that wants to go shoot, as a sniper, I want my sniper to feel strong. I have had really great work with the auger, just plunking, right? But again, it's what's fun because I would always drop the auger for a Raka because it did have the one shot down mechanic. Not necessarily that the auger's bad in its own right, but if you liked Lamborghini more than Ferrari, like you would always drop the Lambo for the Ferrari, right? Or vice versa. I don't know
Yeah.
cars.
Yeah.
It's what's more
No,
fun
and that's
in
fair.
your
I get that.
case, right? And that's the thing I really think it comes down to. And this all started because I was talking about, by the way, scorpions, which I just went back and saw. I do seriously think though, before we go down into like nitty-gritty stuff, I really would like even like the Warden half track where you're talking about the 2 MG spots, they're medium Tovik. I think it'd be cool if they had 2 tripods. Now, every Colonial's first thought is double mounted bone saw. This would be the most broken thing in the world. It could be.
It's worth noting that I believe I need to check again, but there is so little overlap in the fields of fire of those two machine gun positions on
Exactly.
a half track that I don't
Exactly.
think you'd have to like park next to it diagonally to get hit like that.
So that's why I think it wouldn't be as like, and that's just for that specific vehicle. Imagine if a Colonial stole 2 Arc RPG mounted bone saws and slapped it in a Scorpion. You're talking about a heavy bone car, dude. Like extreme heavy bone.
I
That'd be
mean,
scary.
it can't chase for shit, but like
If you're tracked though, you better buckle your ass,
so
son.
much goddamn
Yeah.
armor, dude.
You know, like you better buckle your ass up, son. I hope you ate your Wheaties. It's pound town time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying. I think it would open up so many cool play styles for the Scorpion, dude. Like a double 30 mil tank. It wouldn't even be that OP in the grand scheme of things when you consider the Daucus reload. It wouldn't even out damage a fucking Brigand in a
and
shoot
honestly,
off.
it only make it slightly faster because the collies already just like spam ISGs to take down pillboxes at the front the second they unlock them. Anyways, it's only moderately faster than
Well,
that. So
and then
I wouldn't
Tremolas.
personally be annoyed by it.
Well, and the other
And
thing,
Tremolas, yeah.
and the other thing that makes it so cool, and like what I like about it is exactly what Zero just said in chat. We would have
Double
a
Typhon.
Highwayman at home, dude. Like an HTD line with all that armor. You have a Scorpion just armor stripped, and he wouldn't retaliate because you're
So,
outranging. So
I
think it'd be cool.
I have one question though.
Mhm.
Because I'm pretty sure every vehicle with tripod mounted weapons has this. would you accept if they made the Scorpion open top to accommodate that? Because I don't think there is
No.
a single vehicle that has tripod mounted weapons that is closed top.
Let me say it like that. Well, yeah, I think
not
you're right.
mistaken.
But here's something I would do, and something I think that it could even be a variant of the Scorpion for. One very accommodating thing of the Scorpion is it has 7 inventory slots. I think if you ever were to make this change to the Scorpion, I think it should lose all of those. I think
Bring it
it
down to
should
2?
lose. I think it should
Or
go down to
1? Or
just
just the ammo slot?
just the ammo slots. If you change it to, because then you're changing the tank's identity from a support tank to being its own individual tank.
Right,
It can
yeah.
still be a support tank. It can still do double momentum, which is gonna still be more accurate than the 2 Hyvo bloom cannons, but it would be, you're changing for versatility. And I think that's what Colonials want, is a vehicle that can do the job. And here's the other thing I didn't even mention, which I think would probably be the strongest outcome of all of them, is double Fushina. That's 8 tremolas.
Wait, Fushina. No, wait.
That's
That's not.
No, that's Fushina. What you're
Fushina's
thinking is the
Fushura.
it's the
Fushura. It's Fushina Fushura. The
Right,
Fushura
yeah,
is
yeah.
the grenade launcher
Yeah.
tripod mount. Imagine a double Fushura Scorpion. Imagine laying a smoke line in front of your infantry. 8 smokes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You would actually have
That's
a
so-
smoke screen tank.
That's so much smoke. Look, bro, we get it. You vape, all right?
Yeah, dude. But like
I mean,
seriously, like the versatility.
You're taking what the
No, that's
what the warden
Hey.
what the warden super heavy does and putting it in a more condensed version minus the 94.5. Like
You're just
that right
you're
there
giving
is
it
essentially what it
so
is.
much versatility, dude. Like the Scorpion again would go from being like a mid-tier tank.
Xerox gas tank.
Dude, yes, it would. Bro, can you
mean,
imagine
okay.
8 gas grenades
What
too?
what if the Scorpion remained completely unchanged, except you replaced the machine guns with essentially tank equivalents of the not the Tremola, the Lunaire, where it can
Varsies?
fire. Sure, you'd have to acquire them first. Wait, is there any colonial equipment that can use
No,
Varsi
we
at the
can't
moment?
shoot Varsies.
No.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I would accept that then, because then you'd have to steal them. But yeah, what if it was a tank that could just fire all grenade types except for like the obvious like Bombastone?
Yeah, I mean, again,
Would that still work as your support tank? I mean,
I
it would
mean,
still work as a support tank, but
anything
in a
like
different way
that.
than you were intending.
Yeah, I mean, what I hope the devs take away from this is the Scorpion, in my opinion, out of the Colonial tank line, is very
Underutilized.
it is underutilized, but it's showing its age. It's one of the oldest tanks in the game, and it's not gotten a lot of love throughout its lifespan. It's actually got a lot of nerfs to it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And so it's definitely showing its age. And again, they're trying to revamp the tankette. They're trying to revamp infantry support vehicles. They're trying to revamp, a lot of these things. And, again, it's like, I don't hate the Wardens for having bone cars or bone laws. That's their identity. Rushing in big groups like that and slaughtering our tank lines, it takes a lot of coordination to do that. That's fucking kudos to them. Good job. I like to have our versatility and our utility as a colonial. I like having options as a colonial. You know what I mean? I like our identity to be our versatility. I like the Warden's identity to be a heavy, hard-hitting, very high-vo faction. Very...
Orcs.
You know what I mean? Like
Talking about orcs.
Yeah, I mean seriously, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what I like, dude. Like, I want the Colonials to keep diving more into their identity, and I want the Wardens to keep diving into theirs. I don't mind that the Wardens have this super heavy tank like belt, because in my opinion, the Warden super heavy is just always going to beat the Ares. I like them having that title. That's cool. That's part of the Warden identity. I like the Colonial identity being versatility, spammability, being able to take down options, not just in a head-on direct way, but taking things at different angles. I like that.
Yeah.
And I really like, I want to keep seeing that. You know what I mean? Last thing I want to ask about, because we're pulling up to 2 hours. Oh, we're at 2 and 12. Doesn't matter. Do you guys like the concrete changes they made? That's the last question
Remind
I
me
have.
what they are.
So the concrete changes that happened was it only takes 18 hours to
Oh,
cure instead of
right.
24. And it also, I think it just cures quicker was what I remember, I think.
Yes, I believe so.
I don't know if
I
it
think I
techs
think it's
quicker, but I think it was just that.
yeah. I'm unsure about this one because I know the builders are going to be very happy about it, and I don't want to make their lives any harder. But as I said earlier, one of my biggest issues with how the game plays out right now is that builders dictate the pace of wars, and the spammability of bunker bases makes it so that it's rare until the late war that you see any maneuver in mobile warfare. I think the larger issue is that, well, not larger issue, but I think a symptom of that issue is that you see it every now and again posted. It's like, oh, I don't play Foxhole until it gets to late war because then we have tanks and we can move around more. It's like, well, sure, but like we can have those people playing the game and enjoying the game if we just make mobile warfare pop up more readily. But
Mm-hmm.
again, I don't want to, tell the builders now, you go sit in your corner and build those bunkers and have them be destroyed in 5 seconds and
I think
like it.
tech
It's like,
pace is what dictates it actually a lot more. I think more than builders dictate the pace of the game. I think tech is very. I think you kind of said it right there yourself. Tech is a very big indicator of um, the pace of war. Because I'm gonna be
I mean,
honest,
yeah, I suppose, yeah.
the Colonial 250 heavy push gun, like the Elkido and the Warden Jesters, like, dude, breachaholics. They're scary. Dude, like, I have a video that I'm gonna make probably tonight or tomorrow. I watched an Alkido on top of a mountain shoot 60 meters and breach concrete.
Damn.
It
Yeah,
was
no, the electro
insane.
thing.
Well, and the thing is, like, so is the Jester, dude. Like, it shoots 4 breach, like, it rolls 4 things to breach. Like, and the thing is, with how mobile those little vehicles are, dude, like, I think those are the most underutilized things the Wardens don't use. Like, those Jesters are, oh my god. Like, I'm telling you, boys, like, breaching concrete late game, like you said, is very easy. I think the problem is concrete techs too quick in the game, and I think the way to deal with defenses comes out too late. Like, but the problem is exactly what you said. How do you balance a builder's life and 20 hours to the front lines? Like, I mean, I
Not
can't even.
wanting to bash their skulls
Well,
against bunker bases
exactly,
all day.
because it's
Yeah.
it's it's the old tried and true method of why they did what they did with the builder update, with being able to piece parts out of a bunker. So,
Yeah.
like, when you focus the ATG on a meta piece, once that piece has no anti-tank diversion, you're cooked. That you just get
Yeah.
tank pummeled down, and once that's open, then it's just domino effect everywhere else. There's no way to defend. Once one piece of the cookie falls, it all crumbles, and there's no way to fix it. Unless you do a counter push, an insane counter push, right? So
Yeah.
how do you
And I was just trying to explain to the Charlotte players that just didn't understand. Oh, we'll just conquer. It's like, no, you need to stabilize this area first, then you concrete it. Because if they go and push you back, and you have wet concrete, congratulations, you have a piece that's weaker than tier 1.
Yeah, I mean, and it's I
I
personally go ahead.
yeah. I was gonna say, like, one idea I popped on one of my streams at some point, and again, I'm not claiming that this is an idea that's gonna fix every problem. It's gonna fix some problems and probably cause more problems. but I was almost thinking it's like, what if you make bunkers cost less, easier to build, but there's a hard limit that you can only place, a bunker core every, let's say, 150 200 meters, so that way you're not immediately bumping into another bunker. But then the issue is like, well, how, if a facility's in a certain place in a certain shape or whatever, then are you able to defend it all? Probably not. So it's it's a it's a problem with a
Delicate
million
process.
solutions and a million other problems that it's going to
Yeah,
cause. So
I mean, there's a lot of stuff they could do to go with that idea. The issue is if they did that idea, let's say they did it like signposts where you can't spam signposts too close to each other, you know, let's say there's 150 meters in between each bunker. You can't build 100.
mhm.
The issue you have with that, not only are you talking about you only have 80 meters of AI, which they would have to bump, you also run into positional issues like you said, and they would have to reform the map, which that's
Yep.
the last thing I want to talk to you guys about.
Yeah.
I know I said I'm gonna be honest. I think one of the biggest issues in the game right now that's not being talked about because it's not big and flashy. I think the map is so overdue for a mass overhaul. And I'm not talking like little things in little areas. I'm talking there's some areas in the game that are literally just so bad. Like Legendary explained one thing to me last night and it blew my mind. So, one of the biggest issues like ash fields with the decay, look how much area you actually have to build on this whole southern section. Like look at how little we have to build here. And
Right. Yeah.
that's such a massive section of our map. Like that's the whole that's like if you were to go flip-flop like so Calachi, Red River, Ash, that's like taking the whole southern section. I mean, they do it up here too. This look at how much section. I mean, it's not as bad.
It
You
kind of
still
it
have
kind of feels like there should just not be a no build section on the corners of the map where there's not an
so
adjacent map.
so you know what's really funny? I said the exact same thing to Legendary. But if you do that, how do you contest this border?
Wait, which border?
Because if there's no adjacent hex north of this, right? Colonials took Kuristan and pushed into Blinding Stones from this border base. They would be able to have all of this built.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean.
So for like these naval hexes specifically, like it would not be if you could like especially build on the backside of like Morgan's, like I don't think it'd be that big of a deal. There's no land mix. But let's talk about like Reavers. We could build this gap 100%. Like without all the way. There's no flanking ability through here for the Wardens now.
Yep,
We get
no, that's a
to
fair point.
so there is space that I think it is possible. Like Terminus, there's no reason. There's nothing here.
I just need to expand my tunnel warfare idea so that you can build tunnels across borders and then undermine those defenses through those tunnels. It's the perfect plan and won't overcomplicate the game at all.
He's gone mad, folks. He's a tunnel rat. Um, but I don't know. There's a lot of things like and something else that Legendary talked about, which I thought was kind of interesting too, and something I think Wardens don't understand. Maybe they do, and why Wardens are so heavily naval and why Colonials are not. So in Nevershline, if like you go to let's say they have perfect wind. It's only 200 meters, but with wind, it's 225 distance on a frigate.
Mhm.
They can hit both of our border bases from this pond with a frigate, right?
Right, yeah.
Almost all of the colonial areas, you cannot recur the same thing. Like you can do this
Right.
one, but you can't do this one because this mountain blocks. You don't have the range. So like it actually fundamentally the map kind of actually condones what our play styles are. Like a lot of colonials think Naval's LARP and Wardens praise it. There's a lot of reasons why, Wardens should be praising naval because, again, they can almost take off all of our border bases with naval
Well, also,
assets when we
not,
don't have the
it's not
same.
even just, hitting the border bases. It also has to do with just the way that the waterways are,
Well, and
because
I'm
the
not.
wars can easily go from one side to the other. And I know people can be like, "Oh, well, you got base in Viper Pit or the northern one." Yeah, but if you
This
look
one's
at
even
the
though.
southern areas, it's just not viable to go from one side to the other without getting around what Deadlands Endless Shore area.
I'm just saying, I think fundamentally the map is actually more than people think, kind of choosing how we play the game. What's better for
Yeah.
our factions.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, 100%.
100%
And
agree.
I'm not saying this is an unfair thing. I think the Wardens are taking their advantages to their extreme, and I think Colonials are trying to take our advantages to our extreme, which that's why you see a lot of us focus more ground based, because again, they can control a lot of areas with frigates that we don't have the reciprocal. It's not everywhere, right? But there are certain areas that do change it. Like the same thing up here. They can control. We would have to run so much extra to do the same thing with one boat, right? Like it's just so much different in how the game plays out, and the map kind of chooses our play style for us. And I think our buffs and debuffs need to reflect what we have to fight, if that makes sense. Like, this is another aspect and layer onto balance that a lot of people don't grasp. Like, Warden Naval is, like, to be honest, more than ever, kind of imperative for them to win. Like, they need to have a strong Navy. Because if they don't, they lose a lot of their strong assets and a lot of their strong map position without having it. Why do you think Nevish took so long to take? One, they used the shit out of their arty up here, but B, they would consistently run frigates down this channel and bombard the shit out of us.
Yeah.
They stopped pushing from the south as much as they did because they would just get pounded by arty. Like, by a it was a daily occurrence, dude. Not even, it was like hourly occurrence. A frig would come up and just blast the shit out of us.
Sounds like those bombers should have been teched sooner.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and I don't hate on the Wardens for doing their strength.
It also has to go with Curtis Strand, that freaking Logi bridge that was constructed.
Yeah, I think that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I flew over that in a paratrooper plane, and I had no idea that had been built, and I just looked down, and I'm like, guys, what the hell is that?
But seriously,
and it was actually one of the most awe-inspiring sights I think I've ever seen. It was so smart. It was actually fucking brilliant.
So I remember taking Kura.
They literally made their own Logi bridge, and
that was the funny. I remember taking Kura, and you know why that bridge was built? It wasn't for Logi intentionally. It was because no one was at Faden, and I had a gunboat, and I lit this town hall on a tier 4 fire. And I set all their bunkers with a tier 4 fire with a gunboat we had. They had come over with Mannins and a CV. That's why this bridge was constructed. Is to get, I mean, it was for Logi, but to feed a bunker core right here. But it was mainly to get that CV over because we had no way to build a barge. That was the reason that was there, and that stayed there almost till it was there till the last day of the war. I was there when it was constructed, and I used that bridge so often because if you were a tanker fighting at blinding and in this lane, every night cycle you drive up here, go repair your armor, load, and go right back into the fight. That was literally probably one of the most influential metal beam bridges ever used in the game. Like, hands down.
The only reason why I knew that is because I raided you one night, and I'd seen that. I'm like, those motherfuckers.
It was brilliant, dude. And the thing is,
I applaud the shit out of whoever came up with that. And I'm like, bro.
It just how the cookie crumbled. And then the best part of it was, what was even better was when they started running all the Logi, like, because Partisan started to figure out they were running through the gutter in here, so a lot of the Logi route would go through here on the outer edge where it was a lot safer, and they would put. There's a seaport here. We were starting to put tanks and ammo here. And then we were putting all of our infrastructure, B mats, all the other shit down in here at this seaport. So it was all the armor and vehicles up here and ammo, and then all B mats, fuel and all the other shit were flowing down here. It was really cool, dude. It was actually a really cool. They have a fucking regiment called Kura now, by the way. They have a regiment named Kura.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I know.
I'm trying to
I-
go around to all of the colonials and telling them they need to come up with a motto that's just like the one from Band of Brothers, but instead of
Kurahi.
Kurahi with a C, it's Kurahi
Kurahi.
with the
That's funny.
K-U-R-A.
I like that.
Yeah.
But
do it, colonials, do it. One.
you know, I also applaud the wardens, and I didn't believe my buddy Karn. I know why you guys take these island hexes now every war. This
Backline entry.
well, you know what's crazy? No, it's not because of that. I always thought it was for naval invasion. No. There was a component field here. Bone, my regiment, would solo farm that full field, and literally we did it. We got like over 100,000 comps in iron ships, and we just sailed it all the way back home into Origin. And like not even a fucking boat was in sight of the enemy because it was all cut off. We literally had so much extra shit floating in from the island hexes. There is so many there are so many unmined fields out on the island hexes. There's too many resources. Like I'm being 100%.
And this chat is what we call colonial exploitation of resources.
Dude, because everyone uses all the shit in here. Bro, that's why the wardens always have so many supers and shit. Dude, they fucking farm the shit out of literally it's colonialism. They farm the shit out of these islands,
fun
dude.
At you, but it is pretty much colonialism.
It is, bro.
There's not enough resources in my homeland. I guess we'll just pillage all these islands.
Dude, and we did, bro. We were coming home with boatloads, baby. I know why the wardens do it, and I hope colonials keep doing that shit because I am tired of fighting for one fucking comp node on a comp field. I went out and farmed that shit by myself. I farmed, believe it or not. I know, that's crazy. I went and farmed it. It was awesome.
He actually picked up a hammer and...
Fuck no, I had a harvester. I didn't do no peasant farming. The fuck?
You didn't really farm.
Call it what you want. But anyway, other than that, boys.
Yeah, I have one final question. With the new update, what do you think? What do you think is and how do you think it is going to be abused the most? My answer: torpedo nets. How do I think it's going to get abused? I think people are going to. I don't know if they're going to be successful. I think they're going to attempt to turn certain shipyards and certain maps into zoos. Just torpedo nets around the shipyard, little boats can't.
That's nothing new.
Well, here's the thing, though. You say that, but the problem is these are destructible by 12/7. Machine guns can gun them down.
I tried that out last night. It was like 15 magazines.
For one?
Yeah.
For one section.
Ooh.
Now, I could be wrong. My accuracy could have been off. It might have been as low as 10, but it was a lot, dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wonder how HE does.
And
I wonder how HE
around
is
guarding
doing
you,
it.
like it's just a free kill on a net, but it's doable. Or it's again, I don't think it's actually gonna like seriously affect the war, but I know people are gonna troll the fuck out with it. Or people are just gonna make bridges out of them somehow. Fucking, I don't know, man.
Can you walk on them?
Logistics guys in this game are fucking nuts.
Can you walk on them?
You know what? You probably can't, but they're gonna position it just close enough that you can bounce hop across a body of water. I guarantee you, someone's gonna try that, especially now that I said it.
You know somebody's gonna try that shit.
Someone's gonna try it.
I'm gonna try it on Dev Branch. But anyway, boys.
I wonder if you could drive a tank over them.
Stop. Stop. Just stop. You. Just stop.
What other pieces of abuse would you like to suggest that the community try out this war?
I think another thing the tugboat should be able to do is carry metal beams and be able to make metal beam bridges. Just
Yeah,
saying.
fuck it, why not? I think that would be a cool utility. They should also be able to, tug things, and also
Hey,
air.
another thing is they should add a shrimping net on the side. 'Cause that's a shrimp
Yeah,
boat.
would that satisfy your fishing needs, Marine?
Want to go
Oh,
shrimping?
Shrimp boat?
I need to get a Bubba Gump skin on that, dude.
Well, actually, speaking of that, I mentioned it in the naval suggestion series, but we need a boat that can actually properly demine the water. I think the tugboats would be perfect for that. You just need like a small crane on the back or something to just destroy or pick apart enemy mines. Just carve paths through minefields.
Yeah.
Hey,
Throwing mammons at mines is stupid.
I have to add it in every podcast. I need a PPS H-41 heavy bomber, and I need to be able to mulch trenches with that. Thank you, devs, for your consideration and time.
Yeah, while we're there, Wardens still need a faction unique motorcycle. That is all.
Wait, what? I thought they do.
No, we don't. Everyone gets a standard motorcycle. Collies get a motorcycle with an MG. Wardens
Oh,
get
yeah.
fucking shit.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
okay. To be fair, if that's what we're gonna be mad about, bro, we
I'm
gotta.
mad only because I've been asking about it for years. No other balance reason or anything.
Okay, I can't even fault that. I'll accept that 100%. That's fair.
See, I'm not a dev because if I was, I would have added that 5 years ago.
I bet you it's added in the next update. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you coming to hang out with me. I'm gonna end the episode there. Thank you guys so much. Bear, Marine veteran, you guys are always welcome guests on here. Fucking love having you guys and the good conversations. That'll be it. If you guys would like to, please like, comment, and subscribe. And definitely give I Saw a Bear and Marine a follow on their YouTubes, Twitch. Fucking, I'm not gonna go through the whole list that Marine streams on. Fuck that guy.
Well, fuck you too. I love you too.
I love him, bro. He's
No,
a good guy.
if anybody's ever curious as to where I stream to, just swing by the channel. I'll explain there.
Yeah, he has a lot. He streams on a lot. But anyway, that'll be it for this episode.